Hi, everybody. The sign says we're live, and I've got my two friends with me, both of them, Wayne and Ruby. Glad to have you guys with us. Um, got a piece of cherry here. Somebody said last week that they'd like to see a pedestal bowl. That's what this is going to be. This bowl blank was cored out from a much larger piece of cherry. I got three really nice bowls. Actually, I didn't. I had six altogether. Um, the two inner ones long gone. I had two large bowls, two big salad bowls, and then two this size. This one, the bottom is. If I switch cameras, you can actually see it. There we go. Swing it around there so it's in the light. That is open. There's a big hole there. That was rot that was in that uh, blank, and so it's gone. And I've got two pieces of 3/4 cherry that are on glued onto the bottom of here. So those will be my pedestal. But I've got a recess in the very bottom piece. You'll see more here in a minute when I go to the overhead, and that'll all make sense. This top one is quite warped because that was so wet. So I'm going to switch over here. I'm going to click that, and I'm going to let I know who's going to do it, but Wayne or Ruby one read off the chat.
Right, I'll do the chat just in case Ruby's got to go and put the kettle on again.
You won the toss up, Wayne. I concede.
Okay, starting from the top, we've got Ronald Todd in, and from what Doug was saying earlier, he's been in for quite a while now.
Yeah.
We've got Val. Good evening, Val. We've got Larry from Henry Scrollsaw Works. Malcolm Douglas is here. Gerard is here. Ruby is obviously here. Going down, Barry Chitty's in. Rob from Copper Owl is here. Roger Kent. Mike Evans. Todd at Glen Cove. Brian with a Y. Paul Hayden. Still going down. Roger Wallum is in. Clinton Wood Dancers is in. Getting there, and the chat decided to jump, so you go again. Haley's in. Good evening, Haley. James Crawford. Hi, James. Chris Walters is in.
Hey, Chris.
Raymond Wise. Andy Wivy Woodshed is in. Alan Gibb. Andrew's in. AGK. Evening, Andrew. Vinnie Charlton's in, and Pete from Twisted Trees has just come in as well.
Good morning, Pete.
Mike from Dancers is in.
Hello, boys and girls.
Jim Selby's here as well. Andy the Valley Woodturner's in. And Lucy's in as well. Evening, Lucy.
Hey, Lucy.
Hey, Lucy.
Just started by getting my rim flat across there, and we'll switch over to the inside for a few minutes. Make sure we're not hitting. And I'm turning at 800 RPM, by the way, if anybody cares.
Right, that's us. Oh, sorry, Dale is just coming as well. Old Man River.
Hey, Dale.
I'm sorry if I apologize if I missed anybody. If I have missed you, put another comment in the chat, and I'll get you included.
We will be having that drawing here in a little bit. So if you haven't already entered into the drawing, you may want to go over to one of the previous three and throw in the magic word.
Mike, in answer to your question, it's out of round, not off centre. Well, I suppose it's a little bit
Yes.
off centre, but it's definitely out of round.
Definitely out of round. No question about it. And we knew that. I knew that.
I agree with Pete's comment that it looks dodgy.
It does look a bit dodgy, but hey, that's what we do, isn't it? Yeah, and Andrews just said, if I have missed anybody, it's Shug's fault.
It's so good to have all of you in today. It's hope you've had a good day. I've had a good day so far. It's just 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was drizzly earlier, and it's looks like it might be clearing up now.
Yeah, we've had rain most of the day.
So you didn't get the major storms that are have been traveling around. You know, I swear my computer is harboring a whole nest of ants because every time I open it up and sit down at it, I get an ant walks across the surface.
All right.
You sure it's not something that's infected you? And it's an animated ant, or is it a real ant?
And Jamie's in. Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie.
JP. Hey, JP, I got it figured out, but you're still welcome to come in if you want to.
Now, Mike has said, Mike from Dances said we had a big storm during the night. Yeah, we were due to have thunderstorms last night, but they didn't happen.
Now we have one coming tonight. I wish it quit raining so that I wouldn't have to cut the grass every other day.
You can go and help Rob cut his, Ruby. He's going to spend a fortune on tyres. And Ronald is asking, what is the giveaway you're talking about?
The giveaway, the 1,000 subscriber giveaway that we're just now getting around to having the giveaway. I don't know if y'all can see it. Yeah, you can see it. There's some white down the center of that area right there. That's rot. That's where it was rotting. There was a bit of an inclusion there, it looks like, and so water obviously got inside of there. And I may.
Do you think that's going to break out? Are you going to just leave it like that for now, or
well,
try to go deeper?
I'm going to go deeper. It's solid at this point. I have put some glue into it. I'm just kind of watching the back side as well, so I don't go too deep.
Now, Fred Gilliver has joined us. Welcome, Fred.
Hey, Fred.
And Gerard is saying that his son has been in the hospital since Sunday on a trolley waiting for a bed. He has a sinus infection which gave him an eye like a golf ball. No bed yet, in a quarter. That's not good. Of course, our system over here isn't any better.
Alex,
I think Dale is sitting in his car on his iPhone, waiting for his wife. She's in the grocery store at the moment.
Okay. You may have to go in and say, "Hey, we got to go, lady." That'll go over well, I promise. Okay.
The more I listen to you guys, I'm glad I don't have a wife.
I'm saying absolutely nothing on that score in case she's listening.
All right. I think what we're going to do at this moment, I'm going to thin out this top portion up here just a little bit more. Then we'll go to the outside.
While it's there, did you want to cut the outside edge of the rim?
Well, that's, yeah. Yeah, yeah, the top is flat. The inside is pretty well round now. We're going to go to the outside, including the edge and on around. And I will switch cameras here in just half a moment.
You can see the difference in thickness with that shot at the moment.
Yeah, but that's on the outside. It's all on the outside at this point. All right, there we go. Come over here and switch cameras. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Rob was saying that rim was messing with my ODC.
Well, that's Mike.
and it, or Mike, and his dyslexia.
Yeah. I've got to see the globe on that bottom. This is scaring me a little bit.
Well, you're not alone, Wayne. Have you got your face shield on, Wayne?
No. I'm behind the sofa at the moment. Just peeking over the top.
Aha. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not, but that top half inch is now round. I love it.
Grand. Raymond has just said he hasn't done any turning this week because he had a platter blow up on him, hit him in the face, and banged his head off the cast iron bed on the bandsaw. All okay, but he had to order up an Evolution impact visor, which was expensive.
I sure hope you had some sort of a visor on when you were turning, Ray.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's that can be rough. Stuff blows up on you.
Haley's taking bets on whether or not this one's going to be a flyer.
Oh, that's terrible, Haley. You shouldn't do things like that. Jim Selby has said that they had their club demo on fluting. Hard rain in a tin roof building, could hardly hear anything, but it was still a good demo.
Oh, that's good.
Just taking my time here. Go ahead, Wayne.
Yeah, Mike said that he's glad you're doing this, Doug. He's got to turn some elephants this week without using a mortise or tenon. Yeah, glue blocks are the way to go.
So all between centers.
Yes, all between centers. Because I think from the picture Mike showed the other day, he's doing a mother and baby elephant. So obviously the trunk and the legs and the baby are probably either going to be cut on a bandsaw or a scroll saw.
I look forward to seeing that, Mike.
Yeah, me too. All right, it's coming. It's coming right along. We're getting a good bit more squares. There's a void right here, which is the opposite of the inside, which is why I wanted to stop on the inside. And some more right down close to the glue block there. That's why that section looks a little sketchy, because there's a bit of a void in the bowl blank. but they meet as we go further in. So it's
All
coming
right,
along.
okay.
It's coming along.
Well,
Yes, it does look sketchy. You guys who think so, I knew that. So
Right.
it's an educated.
Ron said it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to true up the glue block. The glue block is actually going to be the center part of the
stem.
stem.
Yep. This will be the bowl, the pedestal, the base.
Pedestal. That's the word I was looking for.
Pete said that he's just done the sums and he's fairly sure he's far enough from Doug's workshop to watch without my catcher's mitt.
That's no fun.
Lucy has asked a question, and she said, "Strange random question: when, where, who invented or came up with the idea of sandpaper?" Google is your friend on that one, Lucy.
Well, I know in many countries they use shark skin as a sandpaper.
Yep. Particularly the Oriental countries did that for a long time. The Egyptians used papyrus, which has a
I would
natural
think
grit.
that, yeah. I mean, if you go way, way back to sort of ancient times, and I don't remember actually that far back, although I might. Obviously, when people were doing the marble sculptures and things like this, they must have been using some sort of abrasive to get it as smooth as it is.
True. Regardless, I'm glad they did. Pete
Absolutely.
Pete says there's evidence that abrasives were used on Stonehenge, and that Wayne and I will remember it.
Oh, God.
And Andy the Valley Woodturner says that sandpaper as we know it today was invented in the 13th century by Chinese artisans who glued crushed shells and sand to parchment. Before sandpaper, craftsmen used abrasive materials such as shark skin.
There you go.
There you go.
Thank you, Andy.
Like
Yeah,
Wayne
if
said,
Lucy,
Google is your friend.
yeah, if Lucy doesn't know how to operate Google, Andy certainly does.
All right. Just trying to get myself in position where I can get in here and work on this pedestal area just a little bit.
Maybe do the piece a little to your left first and you could lead into it and give yourself some room.
Mm-hmm. I don't tend to do things the easy way, though.
Well, of
Ruby?
course not. You're a guy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why you have women to give you suggestions periodically.
Raymond has just put in, Doug is responsible if it blows off the lathe and comes through his TV screen.
See where I am on this joint. I need to go in just a little further. This is this glue up I actually did last, was it Tuesday or Wednesday? I did it. Um, I was going to do this bowl and saw the rod in the bottom, the bottom was out of it. And so I thought, well, that'll make a decent pedestal bowl if I can find some things to glue it up with. And so I found these other two pieces of cherry, and I think it's going to be okay.
Well, the shape is coming along nicely.
It certainly is. And we've got Walt in. Walt Wybrew. Good evening, Walt.
Hey,
Hi,
Walt.
Walt.
Get this nice and true on this edge here. Something tells me it's just a hair off. Yeah, right there. Hadn't quite got through the square on that. Ah, that's better.
And Chris from Bailey Woodworks has just come in as well. Hey, Chris.
Bailey.
Hey, Chris.
And I know I haven't called out, Wayne's read everybody's name out, but I haven't said hello to everybody individually. But I heard all those names, and thank you all for coming in. I do appreciate it. It means a lot to me and to the channel.
Well, if it wasn't for all of them, we wouldn't have much to comment on, would we, Wayne?
Nah,
That's true. That's true.
it'd be a light kind of a day, wouldn't it? Oh, gotta love that.
And Mike, you from Ilminster's just come in as well. Good evening, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Make an adjustment or a correction, and it affects everything.
Yes.
So I keep going back and forth on this. My curve has gotten out of whack a little bit.
If that's a fairly hard maple, you might find your Easy Woods would help you with that curve.
Well, this is still cherry, Ruby.
But depending on where it grew, it might be a very hard cherry. If it grew
Well,
in
this
a
is true. It could be.
area.
Yeah, I'm coming out of my curve, I think, because of the tightness.
That's why I was thinking one of the round cutters might get in there easier.
Right. And if this doesn't get it right here, it's not. I'm not getting a nice smooth curve like I want. There's the one I'm looking for.
At the moment, we've got around about 40 people watching. We've got around about 17 thumbs up.
All right. Get those
Well,
thumbs up,
hopefully the
folks.
rest of you will hit the thumbs up as well.
Right, Mike is asking from Dancers, is there any source of knowledge on the effects of sunlight on various wood species? I was disappointed with how light a mahogany box I made was, but it's colouring nicely after 2 days in the sun. There are a number of woods that do that. Purple Heart is one of them. If you find that Purple Heart is starting to go a nasty dullish brown, stick it in sunlight for a couple of days and it will go back to being purple. And I'm fairly sure there are other woods. Now, I haven't tried it with Pedestal, but Pedestal does tend to go very dark brown after the initial orange colouring. I haven't tried putting that back into sunlight to see if it
It'll
helps.
just get browner.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, Paducah just gets browner. The only one I know of, and I could be totally wrong. This is a little detail gouge, little Doug Thompson detail gouge. The only one I know of that gets the brilliant color in sunshine is the Purple Heart. And people have told me, "You're crazy, it doesn't do it." I said, "Well, I've done it, so."
Yeah, I've done it.
And Clint
Lots of
says
times.
that teak goes gray.
Yeah.
And Martin Ford has joined us. Good evening, Martin.
Hi,
Hi,
Martin.
Martin.
And Anthony Green has joined us as well.
Hi, Anthony.
Glad you joined us. You guys missed all the excitement when Doug started turning on this piece. Wayne went behind his couch and I went and got my face shield and
It was a little out of character, or not out of character. It was out of the blank
out of
was out of
shape.
shape. I'm sitting here trying to do everything right-handed, and sometimes it's just so simple to do it left-handed if I just remember to turn myself around.
Yes.
I know not everybody can do that.
It's a
I feel
skill you
fortunate.
can learn.
You can. I still, every once in a while, I'll grab the tool, I'll switch over left-handed, and it just doesn't, it's just not right. Something's wrong. And I have to just keep going with it. And after about 2 minutes, everything straightens out.
I remember trying to explain that to a well-known turner after I watched the individual demonstrate some turning and had wrapped themselves around the headstock of the lathe in order to make the cut that it would have been easier to just switch hands. And
Yep.
that individual just blew up and said, I don't turn left-handed, and stormed off.
Well, if you would, you might find. That's the other thing. Get that silly phone out of my way. The last 2 days I have been inundated with scam calls. It's just about to drive me bonkers. Absolute bonkers. I got to
Yeah,
come back and visit that bottom of that pedestal here in a minute.
yeah, I've been getting a lot of them as well.
Yesterday I had an appointment about an hour's drive from me, and from the time I left the house to the time I got there, I had 6. We had about an hour and 15-minute meeting, and I had 4 more. And by the time I drove the hour home, I had another 6 or 7. And then today, of course, I've been getting them continuously as well. Handle way down low.
I like the shape that's developing.
Well, I've got a little ridge right here at the top edge that I want to get off. And I think I just got it.
Excellent.
Let's see. Switch back over to that easy wood tool again, just to get this little curve right here ferret out.
Those tools certainly are useful, aren't they?
They really
Oh,
are.
definitely. Oh, Heather's just come in. Evening, Heather.
Hi,
Hi,
Heather.
Heather.
You'll have to go back and watch the start, Heather. As Pete
It was,
said, it was a little dodgy initially.
yeah, but I mean, it was, but it wasn't. I knew what I had. If you just saw, if somebody just said, "Here, see what you can do with this," I probably would not have used it.
Now, Jim Selby has a good suggestion for you, Doug. Next time you get some of those scam calls, ask if they want to buy a wood bowl because the number they called is your business line for bowl sales. I
That's a
think that
thought.
makes perfect sense.
Absolutely.
Great idea, Jim.
Well, I don't know about everybody else, but all the spam calls I tend to get tend to come from India, and they're called Dave or Mike.
Hmm.
And usually the answer they get when they say, "Can I speak to Wayne Clasper?" I usually say no and put the phone down.
Just set it down. Yeah.
That's it.
Well, when they ask me if I need my ducts cleaned, I tell them I don't have any.
No, but I do the same. I had one the other day asking it if they could log into my computer to get rid of all the viruses.
Mm-hmm.
That,
Mm-hmm.
that'll be difficult. I don't have a computer.
I've got to adjust my headset. It's digging in my ear. There we go. All right. If I switch back around to that camera, you can see I've still got a fair amount of that bad wood there, but I'm
Yeah.
a little thick. I'm a little thick right there, that circle. So I want to get that out, and that'll take me down a little bit there. Yeah, you can see daylight through right there.
Yep. See that?
That's where that inclusion went all the way through. This is going to take a good bit of C8 and coffee grounds, I do believe. There we go. That's better.
I'd use two-part epoxy mixed with the coffee grounds. After
Yeah.
CA at first and then come back and fill the voids with the epoxy.
If you're gonna use coffee grounds, Doug, don't mention it to Dean.
Well, tea doesn't work very well. I tried it.
No, but Dean Chandler doesn't like coffee grounds at all.
Which I don't understand. I use them because they simulate very well a bark inclusion. Looks kind of natural. I'm just coloring in between my two lines so I can see it better when it's spinning. There we go. I'm still not I haven't sped the lathe up at all. I'm still at 800.
Okay. Now Raymond Weiser said as soon as he gets a scam call, he passes it on to his 2-year-old grandson because he loves to have a chat.
And Martin Ford says that about every 6 months he gets a call from his website provider, probably trying to get him to upgrade. They have a bit of a chat, then they ask me, "What do you do?" And he says, "Haven't you looked at my website?"
Oh God. And Val said that she lives alone, so she likes to have spam calls. It gives her somebody to speak to.
I can relate, Val.
All right, my hole on both sides is getting larger, which I expected. I still got a little bit of a lump here I'd like to take out, but it's a little higher now.
Now, Mike Dances has said he picked up some tubes of epoxy putty, with different wood colours. You mix it up just like Millie put. He hasn't tried it yet though.
It works fairly well. I've used it.
Oh, I didn't tell you this. This is the finisher, the Easy Wood finisher, which was the second tool from Easy Wood. First one being the rougher, the square one, and then this finisher came out. Oh, that's much better, much more parallel walls. I've got my lump keeps moving up the wall just a little bit, but that's okay. As long as I don't over chase it and go through it.
Yeah, there is that.
I've never seen anybody do that before, so I don't want to be the first. Too bad Mark Beckett's not watching today, isn't it? All right, we've had some fun here. Let's see. Let's go back to the top and see what we've got going on. Yeah, I need to revisit this joint right here. This one's not bad. I may want to clean it up just a little bit, but that joint there, something doesn't look right to me. Need to have a little more definition in there.
Do you have an Easy Wood detailer? The triangular one?
Maybe. I don't know. There's one over here. I don't remember what it is.
It's the diamond one.
Right. If I've got one, it's.
That might work for those two joints.
Are you meaning to have a step between the pedestal and the base there, Doug?
Yes, just
Like
a little bit,
all
but
right,
I may have too much. I think I've got too much. Yeah, there's the detailer that we're talking about. I just couldn't remember if that's what I had or if it was something else.
Yeah. And Heather says it appears that she needs to start making baby items as she's being promoted to a grandma in February.
Aww.
Congratulations, Heather.
Just remember, Heather, if you're going to be making any baby rattles, make the handle the size a baby can hold on to, not an adult.
Yeah. Yes. I think that's going to look better, but I'm going to still have to change the shape of that just a touch.
Now, Mike is asking, has anybody tried the Dremel right angle attachment? If so, is it any good? I'm sure I've got that. In fact, I'm fairly certain I've got that, but I don't think I've tried it yet, Mike.
I haven't got one, so I can't help you out there.
I'll have a look in the workshop tomorrow, see if I have got one.
Mind you, if I looked, I wouldn't be surprised if I found I had one and it's buried.
All right. I'm seeing this black line. It's my glue joint. It shows up more when it's spinning than when it's still.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah. I may.
What kind of glue did you use for your joint?
Wood glue. It's Type Bond.
The original or 3?
The original.
Okay, because the 3 does dry very dark.
You could always highlight the glue marks by burning them.
That's true too.
Which was just on my mind, especially for this top one. And if I do the top, I'm going to do the bottom as well.
Now, Heather is replied to me saying, thanks everyone for the congratulations, that is. And she's already made one rattle, and it's tiny. Good. Because I see so many people making baby rattles that fit into adult hands, not into baby hands.
I look at the actual piece, and I look up in the monitor, and I look back at the piece, and I think I'm gonna eliminate that step. I'm struggling. I'm trying to remember where these two pieces of cherry came from. It's out of a board, but the board was something that I took apart. Very low handle again here, just to clean up this surface.
You can tell the tool's sharp by the shavings you're getting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes.
Yeah, nice little angel hair kind of. Those are fun.
I call those my spaghetti shavings.
We'll do a little bit of sanding up, and then we'll burn those two lines there and there. I think I'm relatively happy with that. You know, I talked about filling those voids, but I may not. I may not. Let me take another look at
Yeah,
them here.
I think they look nice as they are, to tell you the truth. Now, Lucy has said that her hands aren't much bigger than her son Gideon's. And Heather has said, the way I figured its size, I made it a tiny bit smaller than my finger. Oh, yeah, no, that's small enough.
Should be.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you do get babies grabbing onto fingers.
Mm-hmm.
You're speaking from experience, I can tell.
No, I'm not. I haven't had kids.
But you've been around them.
Oh, I've been around them. Yeah, you usually telling them to go somewhere, not very politely.
Get off my yard.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong. I love kids. I couldn't eat a whole one though.
Oh, I don't know. After 36 years of teaching school, I kind of got used to
Martin Ford has said, "Not sure of your intention here, Doug. I wouldn't fill any of those voids or imperfections. It's um, it's the Japanese concept of wabi sabi. There's
Yeah,
beauty in imperfection."
that's right. That's right. I'm gonna change. I was at 80 grit. I'm gonna go to
Yeah,
60 grit.
highlight the imperfections rather than hide them.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Norman Greenwell has joined us. Hi, Norman.
Hey,
Welcome.
Norman. Glad to have you along.
Evening, Norman. For those of you in the UK, the Harrogate show, I believe, is the 15th to the 17th of November.
Hmm.
Tickets are not on sale yet, but it is being
Got,
advertised.
got one little area. See if I can get it where you can see it. Nah. Anyway, there's a little area right there where it's strange. Well, there's another one right there. Just some strange grain. This grain was swirling a pretty good bit, and so that's why I dropped down to 60 grit sandpaper. Um, just trying to get through that, and it didn't have to be perfect. Um, I want it nice, but I don't want it. It doesn't have to be perfect. The wood's not perfect, so. And as dry as this wood is, as I sand it, I can smell that cherry. It just love the smell of cherry. Yeah, that void goes there and it horseshoes all the way around, comes right back to the center again. So I'm fortunate to be able to use that piece. Very fortunate.
Yeah, that's the bit I was worrying about flying out.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
if you're going to leave it natural, you'll definitely want to hit the crack at least with some CA glue.
Heather is already saving up her pennies for Harrogate. Nice one, Heather. I will probably see you there. I've already booked the hotel.
What are hotels costing nowadays over there?
I've booked for 2 nights, bed and breakfast, and that was 300 and I think around about £315.
Parfex
the Carfax.
3408. Just kind of working a little bit into that crack. I don't think it'll do anything more, but this will just be insurance. Just a little insurance.
Let's see what's Lucy saying. Lucy's needing her pennies for this weekend because they're off to Maker Central. I'm giving Maker Central a miss this year.
She
There's only
wants to
so
know
much
if
I
you're
can
at
do.
the Premier Inn in South again.
Yeah, with it, yes. I think that's where the majority of people are going to be. Yes, I am going to be at the Premier in South.
Okay. Give that just a minute, even though I used accelerator. Give it just a minute to go off. I'm looking at it. It's so funny. The grain in the bowl actually is swirly. It wasn't a burl, but it was swirling all over the place. So it took me forever to decide what the grain orientation of that next piece was going to be because I knew I was going to turn into it, which I have. And so I finally just had to say that's close enough. And I don't know that I'd do anything different really. If I had a choice, if I'd known what this looked like, I might have run it that way, but it's running almost
I think it looks
perpendicular.
fine the way it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
There,
do I.
there wasn't much. I didn't have much of a choice on how to do it.
Right, Heather said that she grabbed a big piece of ash off the road today. Probably get more tomorrow, about 18 inches
Yeah.
diameter and the same long.
There you go.
No, that's good.
Jamie has said, Lucy's going to Maker Central. Can you get a refund on a ticket? Asking for a friend, lol.
And you already have a date in the bar with Lucy.
Excellent. Well, it'll be with Lucy and Andy.
Oh,
And Andy does 60s. Yeah, I'm sure I mentioned Andy before. Has he just come in?
Hi, Andy.
I want to come back and work on this edge just a hair. Not only is there punky wood in it, but it's it just needs a little help, more than just sanding. So we'll take care of that
Oh,
in
yeah.
short order.
Lucy has said, and the two troublemakers. I thought that was you and Andy. Keziah and Gideon are absolutely fine.
Yeah. Let's see. I had a lady one time tell me that she would like to go and do some things, but her kids, she just couldn't. Her kids were uncontrollable. She's got the best kids. I told her, you bring them, and if they're any trouble for you, just let me have them. I'll take care of them. And she never took me up on it. I wish she had, because they were great. All right. Eh, got the speed up pretty good right now. And I think that's got me taken care of on that rim. Where's the sandpaper? Well, no. I got to get the top edge. Come on. Go. There we go.
I think Jamie and Lucy were talking at cross purposes here. I think Jamie was talking about Maker Central, and Lucy was talking about Harrogate.
You have Maker Central. You have Harrogate. Now,
Yeah.
is Harrogate the chestnut product one?
No, no, that's the Weekender is the chestnut product one.
Okay, yeah, Weekender.
Yeah,
I have trouble keeping up with it.
Harrogate is probably the biggest woodworking show we have over here. Maker Central used to be predominantly woodworking and wood turning, but it's actually been taken over. The event has been taken over by a different company. Although Nick Zametti, who started it all, is still part of that, and it's more of an event weekend now.
Okay.
And Jamie says that's a lovely piece of maple. Actually, I think it's supposed to be a piece of cherry.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
If
he
it
said
were
that to
only a
you,
piece of
Rube.
maple.
Yeah. And Al Dawson has joined us, and he says
Hi, Al.
that piece looks beautiful, Doug.
Well, thank you. Oh, here I am again. There we go.
Micah Dunces has said there's a tradition of making deliberate imperfections in Islamic design. So he's doing really well with it. And I tell you the truth, the stuff that Mike is doing at the moment is just out there.
It's yeah. It's beyond me. Mike, you must be an engineer by trade. Is that right? If I slow this down, it might help too.
You know, it seems to me a lot of engineers are drawn into wood turning.
Yeah, I mean, Mike has done a fair bit of metalwork in sort of in the past. He tends to make his own tools. He's made his own um, box tool rests and things like this. Jamie said he's going to steal that design, Doug.
Go for it. Go for it. It's not my design, I promise you. It
Actually, it's a pretty classical design.
really is. It really is.
Brian with a Y has said engineering was his background.
Okay.
Walt Wybrew has said he's a retired electrical engineer.
Well, I wanted to be one, but they wouldn't let women into the programs.
Hmm.
Todd at Glen Cove has said, when you work on the computer all day, it's always nice to do something with wood and tools.
That's true. You
True.
can't push a button to get the results.
Raymond has said the wood that blew up with him was glued up teak. Not a good idea, as he thinks it's oily. It is very oily.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Mike has said he was a tree surgeon. But before
My
that,
goodness.
he was a mathematical computer programmer, including GPS programming. There
Oh,
you
that
go.
would have been fascinating.
That math background shows. That's why I thought an engineer. Mike's ability to do the math and find the angles and all of that. Just when I was in high school, I loved geometry, but I
Me
remember
too.
just enough to get me in trouble now. Well,
Yeah,
that's twice.
math was one of my favorite subjects.
I enjoyed it at the time. In fact, we moved in my junior year of high school, and I had considered of being a math major and teaching math before we moved. And then after we moved, it was school went out the door. I couldn't stand the school where we lived. They didn't
Right.
care.
And Jamie has said for me, Wayne was in the Royal Electrical and Mechanical Engineers. Great practice for becoming a wine connoisseur. Lol.
And Nigel Harvey has joined us, and he
Hey,
says, "Good
Nigel.
evening, all." He's a retired welder fabricator. My
Okay.
husband was one too.
And Mark S has just come in.
Hi, Mark.
Hey,
Mark,
babes. It's so funny. People who aren't in these lives that hear me refer to Andrew as precious or Mark as babes,
is a bit, yes, they don't know
they
where it
get,
comes from.
I'm worried about you. Don't worry, it's okay, I promise.
Ron has asked me white or red. It's red. It's red, Ron, all the way.
Oh, Ron, I could have told you that.
The only wine I like is got to be very sweet, a dessert wine.
No, I can't do that. Used to be able to when I was stationed in Germany, but not anymore. Yeah, Lucy has said that she calls Andrew from AGK her fellow hobbit.
Yeah, yeah.
Jamie said that he can't repeat in here what I call him.
Well, I tell you what, Jamie, you helped me out tremendously the other day, and I do appreciate it. I thought for a minute I
Jamie does
might
that
have
with
to.
everybody, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, he helps out.
that's the thing about Jamie. People tend to see other people within the maker community who maybe have a little bit of standing or have been in the community for a hell of a lot of years as being pretty much approachable, non-approachable, unapproachable. Anyway, you know what I mean. They can't get in touch with them,
Well,
but
right.
but really, especially Jamie. Jamie's not like that unless um, you keep on pestering him about the same type of thing, and he gives you advice and you don't take it.
Right.
He can get a little bit upset about that, but usually Jamie is helpful to anybody that asks him questions.
Now,
Yeah.
Mike is suggesting that the center bead would look fantastic with some basket illusion on it.
Hmm. That's a thought. If I had the time and the patience, I might just take that up.
Oh, Jamie's saying I'm making him blush now.
All right. Get this grit taken care of, and I'm going to stop and see what it's looking like. I may need to back up. All right. Let's see what we got before we continue on. I think we're okay. Goodness.
That
Yeah,
just
got a
blew
little
out another
sandy.
piece.
Yeah, yeah. There's some soft
Oh, that's
pieces in
gone
there.
really thin now.
It's Let's see what I got. Now that you mention it.
Mick Dews has joined us. He said he's been in the background busy. Nice pedestal bowl, Doug.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right,
We're right at a quarter of an inch, Wayne.
all right, if Mick's being busy, he's probably looking for somewhere to pinch some abrasive from.
Where did that piece of sandpaper go?
Oh, Mick
That,
probably took it.
no. He can't reach from there. Plus my door's
Never
locked.
know.
I let this gap grab the paper a while ago and jerk it out of my hand, and I just went on to the next grit. I should have gone and picked it up. A little bit of a sanding line right in this cove. There, it's already looking better. Didn't take a whole lot. Yeah, this void, especially on the inside, has a tendency to grab the edge of the sandpaper and send it flying. That's why I only hold it like that. It's kind of pinched. And then I use my middle finger to apply pressure, what little bit I apply. But that way, if the wood does grab it and send it off, it just flies off. And if I'm not using my dust collector like right now, it just flies off into nowhere. If it's turned on, it gets sucked into the vacuum, which is okay too.
Now,
All right.
Oh, go on, Ruby.
Martin says he was a pilot in the Air Force and then with a freight airline. The modern airplane he'd love to have flown is the Mosquito, made of wood, the original stealth aircraft.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been interesting, Martin.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I have thought a time or two of what if they really want some stealth aircraft, let's go back to the biplanes and triplanes. It could not be picked up, but they were so slow, it wouldn't take much to chase them down and shoot them down. But I guess you could engineer one that could take a small jet engine where it had a little more speed. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. I'm just tickled that it didn't fly apart.
So are we.
Yeah. I do have a little bit of grinding in the recess to do. It's still got a nub in there, and so it won't take much to clean that out and finish it. Like that. There went my paper. Didn't fly as far this time though. Did that time. Golly. You would think I'd learn by now. It's only about the fifth time it's done that to me. All right, here we go.
Well, I got some good news in the mail today, which ensures that I'm going to be able to visit you, Wayne. My income tax refund arrived.
All right.
This will be the first time in about 6 years that I've gotten money back.
Oh, good.
Excellent.
Yeah, I got word the other day that mine was on its way to the bank. I was tickled about that.
Well, I got a
In fact,
check in the mail, so I just have to make a deposit.
yeah,
Ruby is
ours
coming
was
across
correct.
to the UK first week in September, I believe it is, isn't it, Ruby?
Yep, first, second week.
First, second week. So she's going to pop up here for a couple of days, pop down and see Pete from Twisted Trees, see Mark, and I believe you're going to be taking some lessons with Colin.
Yes, I want to learn how to make his nutcracker.
Okay.
All right, okay.
Using a piece of formica here to burn the lines in.
You mean that one
On
you were
there.
concerned of that was showing up so dark?
I'm sorry, Ruby, what was that?
You were concerned about your glue line showing up so dark.
Yeah, this is. It's not going to hide it, but it's. It was amazing how it kind of went away as I was putting that burn line on there. It's still there. I still see it.
Now, Lucy says she'd like to meet me one day, and it's possible that might happen. I'd like to get to Harrogate one year.
Oh, mercy. Sneezing, sneezing. Come on. There we go. Turn speed back down. Run back through it with 220. I did just notice on the bottom side of this rim that some of that same grain that was on the inside has appeared. Yeah, but it's looking pretty good. Pretty good. I'm not going to back up to 60 and start again.
Jamie says he's washing his hair, and I think that's a good idea.
Little air. Piece of paper towel. That's what cherry looks like. Some woods you put a little something on them, and then you don't see a lot of change. Cherry is one that definitely will change and look so much better.
Well, when you hit that with even the sanding sealer, the grain is really going to pop on it.
Yes, it will. It will. I was just thinking about that, Ruby, whether I'm going to use sanding sealer and then abrasive paste, then wax. I think what I'm going to do is sanding sealer and then spray it with something.
Yeah, the wax.
Lacquer or acrylic.
Yeah, the wax would tend to get caught in the cracks.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of clean out, which I'm not opposed to. I've done it before. A lot of times you put the wax in, you can blow it out before you really buff it up.
John Merrow has joined us. I'm glad you made it, John.
Hey, John. Hey, let me do. I'm going to there. I'm going to do this. Let's click that. Click that. Ah, pickle wheel. Gotta love a pickle wheel. Let's do this so I don't forget it. I gotta switch over now that I've done that to there. That way I can control it. There, I've already put in, if I roll up here, I've already put in the 3 videos. I've already put in the keywords, hashtags, 4 different ways, just to make sure everybody got included that tried to get in. I'm going to have one winner, random comment. Going to do the wheel of names. So let's get the comments.
And Susie's
Something
just come in.
went
Evening,
wrong.
Susie.
Hi, Susie.
Oh, got to refresh. Do. Get her comments. Ah, now I had this set up so we wouldn't have this problem. Okay. That's not what I want. Holy cow. I've got to go there.
You're okay,
go there.
Doug. Just carry on. You're fine.
Yeah, it'll get there eventually. There's this one. We want to share that one. Come over. Okay. I'm sorry, folks. I'm like I said, I had this ready to go and just took too long. We should have done this first, is what we should have done. But this is okay.
Enchanted Designs has just come in. Sorry, Enchanted Wood Designs has just come in.
Yeah, that's Kevin. Hello, Kevin. Got to open another one. All right. Words. Now we got to get that keyboard back.
Wayne and I can verify that you did have everything ready
It
before you
was
went
all
live.
it was all set up before we started the live tonight.
Yeah, completely set up because I didn't want to have to do this. What? Oh, I know what it did.
And Ron Todd says he agrees with you, Doug, to use a sanding sealer and then a spray finish.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I got to put them in right if they're going to work right. There we go. Yeah, I love my abrasive paste, but with the gaps that are here, YouTube comments, I got 28 comments. With the gaps that are in it, I'd be blowing out and cleaning out. And so anyway, okay, let's hit start. Nice sound effect. Tom Kenny. Tom Kenny is the winner. So Tom, get in touch with me either through private message or email. I'm not sure Tom's even in the chat today, but he's in. He said, "Good demo, Doug. Jazz sax." So yes, we're great. Good. Now I can come down here and
I haven't seen him in the chat.
yeah, I'm not sure he came in today, but we'll see him tomorrow night. We'll see him
Okay.
tomorrow night. He'll be in tomorrow night. I'll be in at least long enough to send him a message to do that. Okay.
Now, Pete says that abrasive paste is nice, but skin on your fingers is nicer. And he's
And
right.
and joints continuing to work, and
That's true.
I am going to first off, I'm going to get you guys back in the background, and then I'm going to switch to overhead again. Huh? That's funny. I've got two overhead views. I'm going to burn this top line just a little more. It's not. It's kind of thin. Get my Formica back out. Get my speed back up to 1400. Stick that in and give it a little pressure. There, it's starting to go. Little smoke. Gotta have the smoke. Now I can turn it down again. Sanding sealer. Should have said what it was and let somebody ask. It's conversation starter.
You might want to hit that left line again. From here, it looks a little lighter than the top one.
It's not in person, but it's the way the light gets to it. It gets to the bottom one a little easier. I am going to hit it again, but that's what's going on. There's the smoke.
Yep. That looks better.
Yeah, just that little touch. Just that little touch. Get my drill that is not supposed to be working any longer, but is, out of the way. Switch over to the in view. That has dried very nicely. In fact, it's raised the grain just a touch. Turn the speed back down. Come back with 220.
You can always denib it after you spray it as well with the sealer.
Yeah, yeah, and it probably will need it. That feels so much better though. At least we get started with a nice smooth surface. Get rid of this face shield. I don't need it right now.
Yeah, Heather said that she loves the inclusions on that piece.
All right, let's see what we got here.
So, and now she said her fingers don't appear to be able to spell either. It's okay, Heather, I got it.
Nigel, you should be able to get that Formica from any big box store in the UK.
Yeah, you should be able to get samples.
Yeah, those are samples. They don't typically cost anything because they have them there for you to take home so you can decide.
Oh, that looks lovely, Doug.
Just show you these real quick. I've got 5 sitting here, 5 different samples of Formica. They all look like stone on top, but it's just Formica. Freebies. You gotta love freebies. I was looking around for them one day, could not find them. And about a week later, I realized I'd put a nail in the wall and stuck them up there.
I've been known to do things like that.
You know, when you organize yourself, it's terrible that you can't remember what you did. I'm still, if anybody happens to see them, I'm still looking for my Banksia pods. I have not found them. Been looking for a month.
Well, I was looking for a T-square, and I said that as soon as I went and bought a new one, I'd find the other one.
Absolutely.
Sure enough, I did. And it was sitting inside a metal vise, which is not somewhere I would have ever put it. So someone else had moved it, and that's how it got there.
It's a dog's fault. It's Shug's fault. That's whose fault it is.
Okay. So Maggie Dog might have done it.
Baggy, yeah, maybe. Turn it down to 170 just to let it spin for just a moment. Help speed up the drying process.
And Ron, I don't think Doug ever did find his ring.
Nope, never did. That saga is it's one of those things. If by chance I ever move, I don't know that I will, but if I do, I'll probably find it when I pack up the shop. Maybe, unless it's been swept out already, and I really don't think it was. I think it's either on a nail or a hook or it's under something, but I have not found it.
Well, Mike just let me know it was the aliens. He says they move stuff around when you're not looking. It probably was, Mike.
Let's hit this real quick with.
Apparently, they abducted a nice piece of oak burl he put aside last week.
Who? I don't think it was either one of you all. I think it was somebody else was talking about they really don't like red oak. My dad gave me a really nice piece of red oak the other day.
No, it wasn't
yesterday.
me.
Was it you?
Nope. It wasn't me.
No, it wasn't me.
Oh, it wasn't you. Okay. I didn't think it was one of you guys. It may have been Pete. Pete, was that you? I don't know who it was. Doesn't matter. Um, I've got this piece. It's got some cracks in it, so it's going to be a smaller piece than what the blank is. But we'll see how it turns out. I hope it turns out nice. It's very clear, other than some cracks. Just wiping off some of that dust. We're going to put another coat on it. There goes my lid.
I like how that's coming out.
Giving it plenty of room. I'm not right up on it. Get the edge real good. I'll switch you over to the top so you can see what I'm doing back here.
Chris, the wood is cherry.
It's this was the trunk of a tree. It was at the base of the trunk, actually, the butt end of the tree. But I've got a little bit of burl figure in it. I'm amazed. Ooh, I almost turned that on at almost 600. I would have slung every bit of that right off of there. All right, let that dry just a little bit, and then we'll hit it with the Scotch Brite pad, and then put a little top coat on it of some sort. Not sure which one we'll use. That's what I'll use. I'll use the Krylon Triple Thick Clear Glaze. That's one of those I'm trying to get rid of.
Triple thick. I've seen the double, but not the triple.
Yeah, Krylon makes the triple thick. They do it in this. They also do it in paint. But yeah, what you're thinking of, and I did the same thing. The Rust-Oleum 2X double thick. That's good paint. But the Triple X, I'm not. A lot of people use it and they really like it. I'm not a big fan, but I mean, it's not bad. It's just I like regular lacquer better, I think. And that's drying nicely, very nicely. But I will knock it back at one more time if I can find my. There it is. Not that I don't have more. I've got plenty of this stuff. I bought a pack of this Scotch Brite, various grits, and I had some that I'd bought in the store. I had like 2 sheets of each, and I still have not gotten into that big package. This stuff just it goes on and on and on.
Yep.
Just knock it back just a touch.
And Pete says, them Canadians, eh? All wood is maple. Maple syrup is currency, and they believe in moose. Well, of course we believe in moose. And what's wrong with maple syrup?
Nothing wrong with maple syrup.
Especially
Except
on pancakes or waffles in the morning.
The only thing wrong with maple syrup is it gives you diabetes. Not true,
Well,
but
I think what's the term? Getting diabetes was in your genes ahead of time.
yes, it's yeah,
Predisposition.
hereditary or yes, exactly.
That was the word I was looking for.
Yeah, you either are predestined or have that propensity to get it, or you don't. It's in your genetic makeup. You're exactly right.
Well, my grandfather was one of the first test patients for insulin for doctors Banting and Best.
Okay, got a couple of things on the chat. Mike from Dancers is asking, any guidelines on drying root balls? They seem to stay wet forever. The thing is, with anything like a root ball, a big burr, even a big piece of wood, what you've got to remember is that hardwood dries an inch thickness per year, plus a year. So if that root ball is 6-7 inches across, there's a small root ball, that's going to be around about 8 years to dry out, unless it's cut thinner. And that's the same with any type of wood, really. Hardwood, certainly. Martin Ford is asking, beautiful work, Doug. You don't have to answer this, but how much do you think a piece like that would go for in the US?
That's a terrific question. See if I can figure something out here for you. And this will be a guesstimate. And it's where I would start at, not probably, well, may or may not be what I actually sell it for. Because you're only going to sell it for what somebody's willing to pay, right?
Exactly.
So that's like 8.5 inches in diameter. And I'm showing 3.5 inches tall. So what that tells me is I would start off in the neighborhood of $90. Maybe just go ahead and bump it up to 100 and take that to a show and see what kind of reaction I got from it. Somebody comes and buys it right away for $100, happy days. If they don't, somebody looks at it, they're real happy about it, they want it. I say $100 and they start to back away. I say, how about if I drop it to 90?
No, I'd put it up to 110.
Would you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it is more complicated than just a normal bowl. Yeah, you
Right.
could go up to 110 and then drop it to 90. And
Now, Larry has said, I see people using microwaves to dry all the time. Yeah, for smaller pieces, maybe for a once-turn bowl, not for a complete root ball.
yeah, root ball, you're going to want to rough turn it first, I think, and then you can come back. Then you can come back and it'll dry faster for one thing, but then you can also microwave it or even put it in an oven, heat it up, not
Put
hot,
it,
as low as that oven will go.
but it takes a long time whether you're using a microwave or an oven.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you've got to use the microwave on half power. Excuse me, just coughed in.
Yeah.
What you
in
need to
short
do if you
cycles.
want, now, if anybody is going to be turning a bowl once, a wet bowl once, and then wanting to dry in a microwave, what you've got to do is weigh the piece before you start. And then you do it on cycles of half power, sort of up to probably a minute a cycle. And that goes on. And the piece has to be cooled down properly before you start again. And that goes down until you get two weights the same.
And even then, isn't it a good idea to let it sit for 24, 36 hours?
Yeah, I'd still let it sit.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't microwaved anything for years because I got rid of the microwave in the workshop, and I'm not. Because I used to have my own microwave in the workshop for
Right.
doing
Right.
this, but I got rid of that, and I'll not use the one in the house anyway.
Right.
Yeah, I did too.
So, I was watching a video the other day. The guy said something to his wife about he wished he had a microwave in the shop, and she said, "Go just stick it in the one in the kitchen." He did
Okay.
once. He said later, "I'll never do that again." And I'm sure it's
Now,
because Wifey said, okay, I said once, not again.
Now,
Oh,
Pete makes a really good point. With a root ball, the most important step is to pressure wash it,
Oh
then
yes.
part turn it, then you can get it done in a year or so.
yeah.
Yeah. I think I've got a part turned root ball in the workshop, which I turned it's got to be 18 months ago. Which I part turned on a live one night, and then just it's been in the workshop ever since.
Here we go. Now that I blew some of the dust off.
Now,
And this
Chris has
is,
said, hang on, Chris Walters said, Doug, did you see the coffee scoops I made? If not,
yeah,
he'll send them to you on Messenger.
I did. This finish is still not dry. It's still tacky, but so that I can show you a bit of what's going on and what we've got. You
Looks
saw the
good.
shape from above. Let me turn it over, and you can see there again. Just a nice cove base with a bead, and then the bowl itself. And I told you I still got a little work on the bottom. I got to get that nub off, and the bottom will be done. That's actually, it has been sanded some. I got to do the final sanding, but I'll do that when I get the nub off. So
Now,
there you are, folks. Somebody asked
Mama
for a
Sneaks has
pedestal
just
bowl.
come in. Evening,
Who's
Mama
that?
Sneaks. Mama
Oh,
Sneaks.
Mama Sneaks. Good to have you.
Right, Heather is saying, what's the opinion on turning a green ash bowl? Asking for a friend. Two ways to do that, Heather. You can either turn it, do a first turn, so you have the wall thickness around about 1/10 of the overall diameter. Leave it to dry, then return it. Or you can turn it very, very thin, finish it, and let it warp.
I tend to turn it to about an inch, inch and a quarter thick, and then let it sit in the garage for a year and then return it.
Mm,
Now, there's
that's
one thing wrong with your bowl, Doug.
what's that?
You need a handful of candies in it.
But they fall out the hole.
Well, you get the big ones that are in
Oh,
Yeah,
rows.
okay.
you
Yeah, that'll
buy
work.
the big
Yeah,
ones.
yeah. The
Don't
big
be a
ones. Yeah.
cheapskate.
I don't eat candy anyway, but my wife does. She eats Werther's Originals. She loves those things.
Oh, those
That would
are
work.
great.
Yeah, that would work in there for her very nicely. But there you have it, folks. Somebody asked for a pedestal bowl. Look at the light coming through there.
You
But
did
there
a
you
great
have
job on that, Doug.
there you have a pedestal bowl, and it's done totally reclaimed wood. What should have been firewood because of the voids in it, and then these two pieces were something that somebody was throwing out. I wish I could remember what it was before I took it and cut it up. But it was a nice cherry board that tapered. I know about some walnut that I've got like that, but I don't know about the cherry. Why did I have that cherry? I'll think of it in my sleep tonight. So anyway, totally reclaimed. 3 pieces of reclaimed wood to make one pedestal bowl.
Lots of nice comments coming through, Doug.
Very good, very good. Well, I'll be going back through the comments here in a bit. Let me switch over to that view, and so these guys can wave by as we get ready to go. It's been over an hour and a half. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, folks. Hope to see you again next week. Congratulations, Tom Kenny, and we'll be in touch. So we'll talk to everybody later. And until next week, unless I see you in somebody else's live, bye bye.
Good
Bye
night.
bye.